Hey, I'm Scott and Andy, and today we are looking at the brand spanking new trailer for Set 2, which has just been released. Prior to this, all we knew was a new set was coming, and the leaker who predicted trading accurately also basically told us that it was going to be Gen 4, and there was going to be 2 packs rather than 3 with Dialga and Palkia. So I was going to do like a live reaction thing, but I scuffed the audio. So we're just doing a sort of second watch through, and then I'm going to scrub the timeline, look at stuff. So we got Dialga and Palkia. Again, Steel EX is some. I mean, there are no Steel EXs, so people are going to be happy with that, I think. And Palkia is another water type. Space-time Smackdown. I mean, not a name I would have guessed. Okay, we've got 3 starters. Pachirisu EX, Leafeon, Honchkrow. Cynthia, okay, it's not just so Gibble. Okay, that means Garchomp's in it. And then available Wednesday, January 29th. And then this is the other thing. Not only did we get the launch announcement for the 29th for Set 2, they also told us that trading is coming on basically the day before, so Tuesday, January 28th, which kind of makes a lot of sense because they probably don't want to have both features launch at the same time, which is interesting because they did say that when it launches, only Genetic Apex will be able to be traded, which does make sense because depending on how you interpret that, it either means that Genetic Apex is only available because it's literally releasing the day before, so the new set isn't available yet. Or maybe, and I don't believe this, but perhaps trading might jump to the next set. I would believe it's more of a catch-up mechanic and it'll be at the end of the set, but maybe it's just, hey, it's releasing before Set 2, so we can't say Set 2 cards are included. And then the day after, it's like, yeah, fine. I would rather believe that it's like, okay, Set 2 is going to be out for a while, and then they'll announce trading is okay. But who knows? Right, scrubbing that timeline, we've got Dialga, 2 Metal Energy, Metallic Turbo, which is a great name. 30 damage, okay. Take 2 energy from your energy zone and attach it to one of your bench Pokemon. Now this is insane. It's probably only caged by the fact that at the moment, there are not a lot of other steel types in the game. But the obvious example would be Melmetal, which needs 4 energy to trigger its attack. So just 2 turns of this, you're doing damage at the same time, which is nice. Takes a bit to build up with 2, but this is going to have a big impact on steel decks becoming viable, I think. And then heavy impact, 100 for 4. Sure, fine. Again, 4 energy seems like a lot, but not when you've got another Dialga at the front, maybe just dropping 2 energy back to his mates. Next we got Palkia EX, so again, 150 water type. 1 energy slash for 30, which is really good. Because I don't think a lot of the EXs don't really have one energy attacks. Aside from, I think, yeah, Mew and Zapdos have their 20 damage ones, so a 30 is already a step up. And then Dimensional Storm, which is 3 energy, 1 neutral for Dimensional Storm, so 150 damage, which is really good. So straight away it's a side drive. And then discard 3 energy from this Pokemon. This attack also does 20 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Now, 4 for 150 is good, but Side Drive is good with Mewtwo because Mewtwo also has Gardevoir in the back, throwing him 2 energy a turn. With Dimensional Storm, you're back down to 1, so you can slash, but then this 150 is like a one-off kind of thing. So it's not as consistent as Mewtwo when it's set up with Gardevoir. You can Misty into it, like turn 1, which is, I mean, You can Misty an Articuno for 3 water energy sometimes. So getting the 4 out for Dimensional Storm is even riskier. But then, you know, we can Misty, and it's very easy to Misty into a 4 energy Gyarados. And this, you don't even need to find the evolution. 150 health. This could be a contender. Unsurprisingly, we're getting the starters from Gen 4. So Turtwig, 2 energy for Bite for 30, 80, so a bit tankier, 2 retreat cost, fine. Chimchar, 60-20, cool. Piplup, so 60-20, and then 1 energy Nap. Heal 20 damage to this Pokemon. Not terrible. Being able to sort of negate damage, especially if you're going first, could be handy, but I don't think it's that great. Now, Leafeon and Honchkrow. So Honchkrow, 100 Dark type, so another Dark type. And we can't quite see it. I would assume it's 2 energy. Skill Dive, so this attack does 50 damage to one of your opponents. I don't think there's enough room to say benched, so it's probably just Pokemon. So this is pretty insane. It's basically comparable to something like Lumineon, but I think Lumineon is benched only. So as far as like targeted like bench damage, this is Honchkrow looks pretty insane. And then Leafeon, so another evolution which people will be happy with. So 90 health is good. Leafy Cyclone does 90 damage for 2 energy. During your next turn, this Pokemon can't... I could assume it says attack. So losing a turn of attack is quite big. But then I think this is going to be more and more of an aggro deck where you probably X-Speed or Leaf other stuff out. So maybe you can have 1 or 2 Leafeons. Again, with Serperior as well, you only need 1 energy to trigger this as well. So it's very interesting for like aggro grass. We have a Cynthia card. So not a gym leader, like the previous trainers have been. So during this turn, attacks used by your Garchomp or Togekiss do plus 50 damage to your opponent's Pokemon. Now we haven't seen either of those Pokemon, but plus 50 is bloody insane. So either those 2 Pokemon are like, I don't know, gimped somehow by not having heavy attacks, or maybe this means something like Garchomp can punch up to 200, who knows. But the thing here is it going to mean that a Garchomp Togekiss deck is viable, or is it mean they're only going to be viable in their own energy types? We'll have to see the main cards to get a better idea, but just plus 50 damage is absolutely nuts. And speaking of Garchomp, we've got Gible, so it looks like a 60-20 dragon. And then, quite interestingly, we've got Cresselia, so 110. So a very tanky basic. Well, very tanky for a non-EX anyway. And then 2 energy for Moonlight Gain. So 50 heal, 20 damage from this Pokemon. Now that looks like a perfectly nice little aggro card there. Because you're doing 50, which is not bad, you're a bit tanky, and healing 20 probably takes the edge off in the early game when you're only going to get chipped for like 20 to 40 damage. Cresselia looks quite interesting. So Space Time Smackdown is coming on Wednesday, January 29th, which is less than a week away. So I'm pretty excited. I'm gonna hopefully we try and do some videos before the launch. And then on Twitch on Wednesday, I'm probably going to be streaming just like going in blind. So the same as this one, just not knowing anything. And just reacting to what I pull. Again, I'm Skeleton Andy. I stream my tournament runs on Twitch. And I make videos about the competitive scene in Pokemon TCG Pocket. If you like the video, please give it a like. Maybe give me a little sub as well. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.